Once you really grasp what imagination is and how it works, you stop sitting around hoping someone will love you, and instead you start acting as though they already do. You stop needing the outside world to prove it to you, because you finally see that the outside world is nothing more than an echo, a mirror that shows you back a delayed reflection of whatever you're carrying inside. The second you decide to behave as if the person you want is completely wrapped up in love for you, something shifts in places you can't see. A new pattern begins forming. You stamp a fresh state onto your consciousness, and consciousness always plays back whatever state you're living in. You can't hold on to the feeling of being deeply loved and not eventually watch it show up in your world. That's simply how it works. Acting as if they're crazy about you isn't pretending. It's lining yourself up with the reality that your inner life is the actual cause behind everything you experience. It means stepping into the outcome emotionally and mentally, well before it ever shows up as a physical fact. Most people assume love has to arrive from outside them, that they have to win someone over, impress them, or run after them to be picked. But the real answer is almost too simple. The instant you take on the feeling of already being loved by them, they start to shift and match that feeling. Not because you're pulling strings behind the scenes, but because in consciousness there's no real separation between you and them. The version of that person you spend time with in your imagination is the only version with any power to show up in your physical life. Everyone around you gets pulled into whatever role Eureka's been giving them in your private inner dialogue. Keep seeing them as distant, unsure, confused, or checked out, and the outside world has no option but to hand you exactly that. But the second you decide with real conviction that they are head over heels for you, that seed goes into the ground, and a planted seed has to grow. It doesn't matter what things look like right now. What's happening on the outside is old news. It's a delayed replay, simply the harvest of whatever you were assuming before. But the instant you adopt a new state, the instant you actually feel what it's like to be loved by them, your future starts rearranging itself around that feeling. When you act as though they're madly in love with you, you're not performing for anyone else. You're doing it for yourself. You carry yourself differently. Your thinking changes. Your private conversations with yourself shift. Instead of circling around doubt or longing, you think about them with steadiness, warmth, and calm certainty. You move from hoping to knowing, and knowing is the most magnetic state there is. To know something is to already own it. Picture, just for a second, what it feels like to be adored by the person you want. Not some watered-down, half-committed affection, but a deep, consuming love that fills them completely. Picture them waking up with you on their mind, going through their day unable to shake the urge to hear your voice, to be close to you, to tell you how they feel. Picture them looking at you with real tenderness, texting you first, dropping other plans just to be around you, choosing you without hesitation. Let that feeling build inside you until it feels ordinary. The moment you assume they're already crazy about you, your whole energy changes. You carry yourself differently. Your voice softens. The anxious thoughts quiet down. You stop chasing, because in your own mind, you've already been chosen. That internal shift is what actually moves them. Not clever words, not strategy, not trying to win them over, but the quiet, settled, knowing that they belong to you. What you accept as true inside yourself is something they can feel, even from far away. Every person in your life is really just an extension of you, playing out whatever state you hold about them. So if you want their behavior to change, you have to start by changing the assumption you're holding on to. Stop asking when it's going to happen. Stop wondering how it's going to unfold. The second you get caught up in the how, you drop out of the state of being loved and slide right back into longing. But longing never delivers fulfillment. Only fulfillment can do that. This is exactly why acting as if works so well. It means living the feeling right now, without waiting around for proof. It means reading their messages in your head as though they were sent with warmth. It means picturing them calling you, excitement in their voice. It means hearing them tell you, "I can't stop thinking about you," and taking those words as normal, expected, inevitable. You're not fantasizing, you're choosing your reality, and reality eventually has to catch up. Some people hold back because they're people. But imagination isn't delusion. Imagination is creation. Every invention, every great work, every love story started out as nothing more than someone's imagination before it ever became visible. The world only mocks imagination because it doesn't understand what it's capable of. You don't need permission from anyone to be loved. You don't need to get tangled up in logic or circumstances. All you really need is to trust your inner experience more than you trust appearances. Do that, and the outer world has to comply. Now picture the version of you who is truly cherished. That version doesn't fear losing them. That version doesn't obsess over what they might be thinking. That version doesn't stare anxiously at their phone. That version walks with confidence, speaks with ease, and moves through the world with a calm sense of assurance. That version knows their love isn't shaky or in question. It's solid, strong, and constant. When you become that version of yourself, the outer world rearranges itself around you without a fight. You become the pull. You become the center of gravity. You become the one they can't stay away from. Everything starts and ends in consciousness. If you want them madly in love with you, you have to become the person who's already loved. Not someday, not eventually, but right now, in this moment. If you can't feel it now, you won't see it later. The feeling inside is the cause. What happens outside is the effect. So many people waste their energy trying to fix the effect, while completely ignoring the cause. They try to control behavior, send the right message, make the right gesture, use tactics to get noticed. But none of that means anything if the belief underneath is still rooted in fear or lack. The only work that actually matters happens on the inside. Once that inner state is locked in, the outer world has no way to avoid reflecting it. When you act as though they're deeply in love with you, you're stepping into a new identity. You stop being the one who searches and become the one who's sought after. You stop being the one who waits and become the one who's pursued. You stop wondering and start knowing. It's a subtle shift, but it changes everything. People pick up on it. They start acting differently, talking differently, treating you differently, because you've changed the version of them living in your mind. You can't keep seeing someone the exact same way internally and expect them to behave any differently externally. The moment you see them as someone who's genuinely in love with you, you release them from whatever old role you'd assigned them, and through your own consciousness, you hand them permission to step into the role of the one who adores you. Every thought you hold sets something in motion. When you imagine their love, feel the warmth of their affection in your chest. Hear their voice in your mind, telling you how much you mean to them. That is the real work. You're rewriting the script your life is running on, and life will follow that script. Don't confuse acting as if with faking. Faking is pretending to believe something you don't. Acting as if is living out a truth you've already claimed as yours. It's not about what you show anyone else. It's about what you privately accept. In your quiet moments, in your inner conversations, in the space nobody else sees. Hold that feeling consistently, even for just a few minutes a day, and it becomes second nature. And anything that becomes second nature to you has to eventually show up in your life. Right now, picture the moment they finally admit how they feel. See the look in their eyes, hear the tone in their voice. Notice the softness in their face. Feel that warmth build in your chest as they speak to you honestly, openly. Accept that moment as something that's simply going to happen. Let it settle in. Let it feel real, like it's already happened and you're just watching it become visible. Your imagination isn't separate from your reality. It's the blueprint your reality is built from. There's no outside force deciding your fate. You're the one choosing what to assume, and whatever you assume has to eventually appear. Assume they love you, and they'll show it. Assume they adore you, and they'll express it. Assume they can't stay away, and they'll be pulled toward you. This isn't manipulation. It's simply how consciousness works. You aren't forcing anyone. You're choosing the version of them that already exists among countless possibilities. You're picking the timeline where they're madly in love with you, and by choosing it, you become one with it. Live inside that assumption. Settle into it like it's already the story of your life. Celebrate it privately. Smile just thinking about it. Let your heart soften, as though their love is already surrounding you. When doubts show up, and they will, just let them pass. Doubt is only the old state trying to hang on. You don't wrestle with it. Just return to the feeling of being loved. Return to the warmth, the certainty, the truth, that whatever you assume becomes real. You're the one holding the power here. Nothing can keep you from being loved, except your own disbelief. And disbelief is fragile. It dissolves the second you decide to step into a new reality. Step into the version of you who is treasured, valued, wanted, and truly adored by the one you desire. Act as though their love already belongs to you. Talk to them affectionately in your mind. Receive their love in your imagination with real gratitude. Move through the world with the quiet confidence of someone who knows, without question, that they're loved. Keep this up consistently, and something remarkable starts to happen. They begin showing up differently, softer, warmer, more attentive. They reach out more. They open up more about how they feel. They notice a pull they can't quite put into words, one that keeps leading them right back to you. You've shifted the pattern inside, and the outside has to follow. That's the power behind assumption. That's the power of acting as if. That's the power of understanding love isn't something you chase, it's something you allow. And when that moment finally comes, when they look at you honestly and tell you exactly how they feel, you won't be shocked. You'll smile quietly, knowing this moment was set in motion long before it ever showed up. You'll understand that what happened on the outside was just the final piece of something that started entirely within you. You'll realize love isn't given to you. It's chosen and assumed by you. And once you claim it, the world can't argue with you. So act as though they're madly in love with you. Not eventually, not someday, but right now. Feel it, own it, live it, and watch your life rearrange itself around the truth you dared to believe. Once you start living from the place where their love already belongs to you, something extraordinary starts unfolding in your day-to-day life. You stop hunting for signs. Stop trying to decode their every move. Stop dreading that something might go wrong. Instead, you carry a stillness inside you, a quiet confidence that radiates outward. Others can sense it, even without understanding why. Where you once felt anxious, you're calm. Where you once felt shaky, you're steady. The energy of being loved reshapes your entire presence. You start to carry yourself with the ease of someone who's already been chosen. You stop checking your phone every few minutes, because in your inner world, they're already reaching out to you. You stop replaying old conversations, because you've replaced them with new, loving ones. You stop dwelling on what went wrong before, because the version of them you're holding now is different, transformed, attentive, full of affection. And as you keep this new assumption alive, the old version of them fades away naturally, like a shadow disappearing the moment light hits the room. This is exactly why the inner work matters so much. When you assume the state of being loved, you no longer need outside proof. You stop being emotionally jerked around by what they do or say. Their actions become just that, actions, while your inner knowing becomes the real truth you'd state. You become the one holding the power, not because you're controlling them, but because you're in command of your own inner world, and that inner world governs everything. You might start noticing small changes. Maybe they seem more interested, more open, more connected. They may reach out first, or show up in ways you didn't expect. None of this is random. These are the earliest signs of a new reality taking shape. But you don't cling to these signs or chase after more of them. You appreciate them without depending on them, because you already carry the real evidence within you. You don't need proof when you already have the feeling. The more you live in the state of being loved by them, the more natural it becomes. You catch yourself smiling for no reason, picturing their affection like it's already unfolding. You start to talk differently about love, about relationships, even about yourself. You become gentler with your own heart, because you're no longer fighting to be loved. You're resting in it. And that rest is what changes everything. Your imagination becomes a kind of sanctuary, a place where their love feels vivid and alive. You close your eyes and sense them near you. Hear their voice saying your name warmly. Picture their hand reaching for yours. You don't picture these moments with longing anymore. You picture them with a quiet sense of ownership, the way you'd experience something that's already yours. Keep this up gently, consistently, faithfully, and it becomes your dominant inner reality. But the real shift happens through soft, steady repetition of the state you want to live in. One good day of feeling loved can't undo years of feeling unwanted, but day after day, moment after moment, choosing the inner experience of being adored builds a brand new identity from the inside out. And once that identity settles in, your life starts to reflect it with striking accuracy. You're not just imagining their love anymore, you're becoming someone who is naturally, effortlessly, undeniably loved. And once you embody that internally, the outside world mirrors it automatically. They start to feel something changing in themselves, even if they can't explain it. They think about you more, miss you more, want you more. They're drawn to you by something they can't quite name, because consciousness communicates far beyond words. The version of them you assume becomes the version they express. You stop worrying about competition, timing, distance, or circumstances. Those belong to the old story, the one you left behind the moment you claimed this new state. In this new state, there's no competition, because you're already chosen. There's no distance, because in your imagination, you're already connected. There's no lack of communication, because in your inner world, they're already reaching toward you with love. The outer world simply has no choice but to align with that inner truth. As you keep holding on to the assumption that they're deeply in love with you, your energy becomes unmistakably magnetic. Not needy, not desperate, not chasing, but genuinely attractive. You're no longer seeking their attention. You're already enjoying their love in your imagination. And that alone is what pulls their physical affection toward you. You become someone who expects love instead of begging for it, who receives it instead of doubting it, who feels certain instead of afraid. Your private thoughts grow sweeter and more aligned. Instead of replaying old hurts, you create new inner dialogues where they speak to you with warmth and respect. Instead of imagining them pulling back, you picture them moving closer. Instead of dwelling on old disappointments, you create new emotional memories that feel real, comforting, intimate. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between something real and something imagined. It simply absorbs whatever you consistently feed it, then loyally expresses it back. As your inner life fills up with love, your sense of self shifts too. You start believing you're worthy of affection, that you deserve devotion, that you're deserving of everything you've been imagining. You start treating yourself like someone of value. You speak to yourself more kindly. You carry yourself with more confidence. You make choices from security instead of fear. This shift in how you see yourself is what really locks the new reality into place. You start noticing love no longer feels like a battle. It feels like a natural part of your life. You stop questioning whether they care. You feel their love internally, and that feeling becomes the magnet pulling the physical expression of it into your life. This is the quiet power behind acting as if. It softens the heart and strengthens the spirit. It swaps anxiety for expectation, doubt for conviction, longing for fulfillment. And while the outer changes may unfold slowly or all at once, the real transformation always begins on the inside. You're not waiting around for them to change. You're becoming someone who naturally attracts the exact kind of love you've been wanting. And once that version of you is fully in place, the outer world has to follow suit. As you keep living in this state of already being loved, the world around you softens. Things that used to trigger insecurity or doubt no longer carry the same weight. You respond differently because you feel differently, and because you feel differently, life reflects that feeling back at you with precision. The instant something shifts inside you, everything outside begins rearranging to match your new pattern. You stop reacting out of fear and start responding from certainty. You stop questioning their feelings and start assuming their devotion. You stop clinging to old stories and start writing new ones from the ending you'd have already accepted as real. The beautiful part is none of this requires force. No pushing, no convincing, no struggling. The more you relax into the feeling of already being loved, the more naturally it all falls into place. The old version of you, worried, doubtful, afraid, starts to dissolve like mist under sunlight. You grow into someone who expects love, who breathes love, who embodies it in every thought. The outer world can't resist this version of you because it's the clearest expression of your own power. You start treating every moment as a chance to remain in the state of being loved. Whether you're alone, sitting quietly, or moving through your day, that feeling stays with you, warming you from the inside. You become someone who radiates emotional abundance, and people naturally respond to that with openness and warmth. Even strangers might treat you more kindly, sensing the shift in your energy. That's what happens when a state settles in long enough. It becomes your identity. And your identity is what determines what you attract. The person you want, the one who once felt distant or unpredictable, starts to feel a quiet pull toward you. They might not understand it. They might not be able to explain the sudden urge to reconnect, to reach out, to think about you more. But the pull is there, and it grows stronger every day. Because consciousness always comes before physical action. Whatever you assume about them becomes the thought they start entertaining. The more consistently you hold on to the belief that they're crazy about you, the more naturally their behavior lines up with it. Their love starts showing up in small ways first. An unexpected text, a longer look, a softer tone. You start noticing their presence more, as if the universe is quietly weaving your realities closer together. And instead of reacting with panic or excitement, you take these moments in stride, because you already expected them. You prepared for them internally, long before they showed up externally. You're living from the end, and the end becomes the starting point for every interaction between you. The longer you stay in this inner state, the more you understand that love isn't something you earn, it's something you align with. You stop chasing because you no longer feel any need to. You carry the awareness of being wanted so fully that the idea of being unwanted feels foreign to you now. Being loved becomes so natural, so familiar, so effortless, that anything else simply stops resonating with who you are. Your imagination becomes your most faithful companion. It shows you scenes of closeness, tenderness, passion, devotion. Not fantasies, but previews of what's already taking shape. Every scene you accept emotionally becomes an instruction to your reality. Every loving inner conversation becomes part of a rewritten script your outer world has to act out. You're the director now, not the observer. You're the one telling the story, not the character waiting to find out what happens. Day by day you get better at holding this feeling. You start to trust it. You nurture it. You enjoy it so completely that your need for outside validation quietly disappears. You know the physical expression will come, because it has to, and knowing that frees you from impatience. You stop asking when, because you already have it. You stop asking how, because the mechanics don't matter to you anymore. You stop asking what if, because the outcome already feels secure. All that matters is holding the inner state, the truth you've chosen, the reality you've built inside yourself. As this inner state deepens, something quiet and powerful awakens in you. The understanding that love doesn't come from another person. It flows through them from your own consciousness. You're the source. They're simply the channel. And when you choose to experience love, the universe arranges the right people, the right situations, the right moments to hand that love back to you. You realize the person you want isn't separate from you at all. They tied to your assumptions, your beliefs, your private conversations. Change how you see them internally, and you change how they treat you externally. And that shift doesn't come from force. It comes from gently accepting a new truth. Your confidence builds quietly. You carry yourself differently in the world. There's a softness in your heart and a certainty in your spirit. You treat yourself more kindly. You let good things come to you without questioning whether you deserve them. That's the power of assuming you're loved. You stop turning away the very things meant for you. As your inner world fills with unwavering love, your outer world becomes a place where love feels like the natural response. People are drawn to you because you've aligned with who you really are. A creator, someone who chooses, someone whose assumptions shape their own reality. And the person you desire feels that pull the strongest. They feel your energy shift, feel the invisible connection growing, feel the urge to come closer, to open up in ways they never considered before. Your new state pulls them into a version of themselves that matches your assumption. They step into the role of someone who loves you deeply, unmistakably. They talk differently, think differently, feel differently, all because the inner picture you hold of them has changed, and consciousness, being one, moves through them effortlessly. As the days go on, the bond deepens. That invisible thread between you grows stronger, warmer, more alive. You feel them thinking of you. You sense their affection before they ever express it. You feel this new reality unfolding, not because you're hoping for it, but because you're already living inside it. You move through your days with a quiet sense of companionship, as though their presence walks beside you even in silence. This isn't imagination in some childish sense. It's imagination in the creative sense. The awareness that your inner world shapes the outer one with every feeling you entertain. And because you're carrying the feeling of their love, you never feel alone, never feel forgotten, never feel like you're waiting around. Instead, everything you want feels like it's unfolding in perfect order, at the perfect time, bringing you closer to the physical expression of what you already hold inside. Every time you choose the feeling of being loved, you strengthen that bond a little more. Every time you return to the inner experience of their affection, you reinforce the state you want to live in. This isn't a chore, it's a pleasure. It feels good to rest in the sensation of being cherished. It feels peaceful to close your eyes and hear their voice in your mind, saying the words you long to be. Here. It feels empowering to know each inner scene is a seed planted in your subconscious, waiting to bloom in the physical world. And as this feeling grows, the old version of you, the one who questioned their worth, who wondered if they were enough, who doubted whether love could come easily, starts to fade. That version was built from old assumptions, old fears, old stories. But you're rewriting your story from the inside now. You're becoming the version of yourself worthy of the deepest kind of love, not because anything external changed, but because you changed what you assume about yourself at your core. You notice your reactions to things shift in subtle but powerful ways. When a doubtful thought pops up, you no longer spiral. You gently return to your inner truth. They're crazy about you. If something on social media or in a conversation would have once triggered insecurity, you stay calm, knowing the outer world is temporary, but your inner world is lasting. You trust what's unseen more than what's on the surface, the inner more than the outer, and that trust becomes your anchor. As you keep dwelling in this state, you start noticing small synchronicities, confirmations that the alignment you've still created is real. You overhear people talking about love. Songs or phrases echo your own inner conversations. Moments happen that feel almost orchestrated, to reassure you that what you were assuming is taking shape. Even then, you don't cling to these signs. You appreciate them as indicators, not requirements, reflections rather than sources. The real source is still within you. The person you want may start showing up in your thoughts more often, not the anxious kind of thoughts you used to have, but warm, peaceful, affectionate ones. You feel like you're thinking of each other at the same time, like your minds are blending into one shared stream. You sense something shifting and softening in their heart, and you know it's simply the natural result of the love you've assumed inside yourself. Your intuition sharpens through this whole process. You start to sense their energy, their emotions, their unspoken longing. You feel their attachment building before it's even visible. You feel their heart recognizing yours on a deeper level. This intuitive sense becomes the foundation your state now rests on. You no longer wonder if they feel it. You feel their feelings inside yourself. You no longer hope for change. You sense the change already in motion. Your nights fill with comforting inner conversations that soothe you. In the quiet moments before sleep, you picture them holding you, speaking softly, sharing their affection without hesitation. Because these imagined moments happen when your mind is most open, they sink in deeply. Night after night, these scenes embed themselves in your subconscious, forming a new emotional blueprint for your relationship. You start moving through the world with a softness in your chest and a warmth in your stomach, signs that your nervous system has settled into a state of fulfillment. Your body responds to this inner certainty of love. It no longer buzzes with anxiety or longing. It settles into peace, security, connection. This shift in how your body feels is proof the inner assumption has really taken hold. Mind and body work together once the inner truth is settled. In conversations with others, you speak with quiet confidence. You stop seeking reassurance because you don't need it anymore. You stop talking about the situation from a place of uncertainty because uncertainty no longer lives in you. You carry yourself as someone already desired, already valued, already loved, and that energy shapes how people treat you. They pick up on it without even realizing it, responding with respect, interest, and warmth. You become magnetic, not just to one person, but to life itself. Through all of this, you start understanding the real nature of love, not the desperate, anxious version the world usually